Jacob, could you take off your hat, please? Do you want to wait a second for the elevator? Okay, good. Folks, reminder that to turn off your cell phones as a courtesy to all of us in the room, especially the players and coaches. Reminder to please give your name and media affiliation each time you ask your single question. And then recording this press box. Oops, yeah, that too. And recording this press box with this press conference with your cell phone is prohibited. We'll start with a statement from Jim, and then we'll open up for questions for student athletes. Jim?
Yeah, obviously, congratulations to Oklahoma. They've proven over the last 6-7 days they're the best team in our bracket, at least playing the best baseball. Very, very consistent, starting pitching, defense, timely hits. Obviously, it felt like Jacob was just great. What a battler. Most number of pitches I think he's thrown all year. So I'm really proud to be a part of this team and proud to be the coach at Texas A&M. This was, I think there's only one coach that gets to feel good at the end of this week. There'll come a day where we look back on this as awesome and a great step for our program. But right now, everybody on here, everybody wearing an A&M uniform expected to win and keep playing. So we're disappointed, but Oklahoma just simply outplayed us today, and credit to them.
Okay, let's move on to questions for our student athletes. Please raise your hand, and we'll start with Mike right here.
Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com. Troy, what made Sandlin so tough today?
He's just able to mix all of his pitches. He was able to get ahead early with fastballs in the first half, and then next time around was able to mix and kind of threw whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. So hats off to him.
Okay, Travis.
Travis Brown with the Bryan College Station Eagle. Jacob, was today one of those days where you were going to go until your arm fell off? What was it like out there, and kind of what was your demeanor in going to how long you were going to throw?
Yeah, it was one of those days where, I knew what was at stake, and I wanted to give everything I had to those guys, and fortunately I had some pretty good command, struggled here and there, but I just, like I said, I wanted to leave it all out there on the line for those guys, and didn't matter how I felt. It was more just if the results were still working, I was gonna run back out there.
Okay, here in the back.
Ryan Broniger, Texas Ags. Troy or Jacob, either one of you guys come to Texas A&M kind of on a whim and putting a lot of trust in Jim Schlossnagle. Can you put into words what this year has meant for you and what the university means to both of you?
No, I can't. It was a leap of faith for sure. And just to have these guys with me all year long for my last season, couldn't have asked for anything more. So thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I was sitting in this same situation last year, and I didn't really know where I was going to go. Didn't know whether it was going to be pro ball or back to school, and I'm so glad that the coach gave me a chance here, and honestly came here for a little bit of closure. Wasn't really sure what I was going to be getting into, but I fell in love with the team, with the school, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. There's no place I'd rather be. The fact that it hurts this much, I think, speaks to how much it meant to me, Troy, all the guys that came in. We might have only been here 1 year, but it's definitely our home. And I can't thank the coaches enough that helped put this all together, and the other players on this team for making this a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Okay, Molly, right up here with Olin.
Hi, Olin Buchanan, Tech Zags. Troy, you guys have come from behind so many times this year. Was there ever a time that frustration and doubt started creeping in that you didn't think you'd be able to?
Today?
Yeah.
No. Like you said, we've been here multiple times. We just tried to keep plugging. Today wasn't our day. It's part of it. I think we've hit that lucky button enough times this season, and I guess today it ran out on us. But one heck of a run.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Guys, thank you. Congratulations. Do we have somebody? Did you see somebody? No. Okay. Thank you, guys. Congratulations on a good season and a great season. If you have any other needs, just check with Thomas for any other players.
Jacob,
That's
take
it.
it.
That's it, guys. Okay, questions now for Coach, and we'll start again with Mike.
Michael Press, NCAA.com. Jim, what's it mean to a coach when a player is that emotionally thankful for the experience he's had in your program?
Yeah, everything. Means everything. That, again, those are two players specifically right there that, they could have run down the top 25 of the end of the season last year and picked any place, with the exception maybe a place that already had a catcher. But there's a lot of us way more established programs than Texas, or I shouldn't say more established programs, but way more established rosters that were built to win this time last year that just needed a plug-and-play catcher, and he could have picked one of those, but he took a chance on Texas A&M, and obviously Nate Yeske had a part of that. He took a chance on our coaching staff and what we were trying to do. So, those guys are Aggies, One of them, they're also Beaver and Cardinal, I guess, as well, but they will forever be remembered as hopefully the team that reignited Texas A&M baseball, and it's our job now, mine included, to honor what they've started and continue to build on it. It's not going to be easy to repeat, I don't care how many talented players you recruit. It's hard to create the kind of synergy and leadership that this team is, and we got to start back at ground zero, starting right now. We have to just start all over again. We have some pieces coming back, but if you think you're replacing Troy Clonch, you're full of yourself. It's not happening.
Okay, we'll go over here with Mitch.
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Coach, in the third inning, you guys gave up the run, and then following the next inning, you had the two leadoff guys on, and then Sandlin came back and struck out the side. How did that swing the game?
Yeah, a lot. I think, he was really good. He was making good pitches. Even he made I don't even know how we started, and he made a couple hits or something like that. But he was executing pitches. He really had a good breaking ball going. He established his fastball enough to his glove side to where, maybe he earned a few pitches that were off the plate, at least from my view. That's not to say the umpire was bad. I'm just saying when you throw that many pitches to the same spot, you earn other pitches. And when you're scattering the balls all over the place, then you don't get the borderline pitch. But I thought he just had us on our heels the whole game. And credit to him and Skip. Skip's obviously an awesome pitching coach, always has been. And so, they're playing as good as anybody in college baseball. And they've earned the right to play for the championship.
Okay, Travis.
Travis Brown, Bryan College Station Eagle. Coach, what was the pitching plan kind of coming into the game? Was Prager kind of in an opener situation or just a short leash? What was that coming in?
Obviously, if I had known what I know now, I'd have started freaking Palish. That's easy to say, but if that's your mindset, then you are cashing in one game for the tournament because he already doesn't bounce back awesome, and he obviously gave us a ton today. If we'd have scored a bunch of runs in the ninth inning, what's today, Wednesday? He might have been able to pitch on Saturday, Sunday. So just hoping to squeeze 2 or 3 innings out. And I thought, he came in the game 3-0, right? I mean, our offense has been good. So I think the story is way less about who pitched for us and way more about Sandlin and the closer for them. I mean, they had us on our heels. We struck out 13 times. I mean, so we only had to. They only had to field 14 balls. So in a good defensive team and athletic team and a team that's playing well, you're setting yourself behind the 8 ball there.
Okay, Eric.
Eric Sorensen, D1 Baseball. Coach Sloss, great season, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Congratulations. And for ending it here was quite an accomplishment. But like early on, a little bit of struggles. Was it just a matter of the team gelling together? And when did that kind of turn happen in your season?
Yeah, for us, I think we were still feeling each other out, trying to figure out who we were, what we stood for. It really turned around when Austin Boats came in my office after a Tuesday night game against University of Houston. We had some injuries. We had lost Kalai Harrison. We had lost Trevor Werner. We were playing 2 freshmen that weren't ready to play, and Austin said, "Hey, I can play second base." And so we go to LSU, and we were on our heels. Our first conference weekend. Had no idea what to expect. We got a left fielder playing second base, and he plays a good second base, and we win 2 out of 3, could have swept. And I think, from that point forward, even though we lost a couple series, 1 to Auburn and 1 to Alabama, we won the rest of our SEC series. That's pretty good, and that'd be hard to replicate next year. So I think we just started, the Pringles thing started. I think there was just a common bond among everybody that came out of that LSU Baton Rouge weekend when you go in that environment and win a series. And I think they started to believe in themselves, and I frankly had more belief in them than I did going into that weekend.
Okay, this will be our last question for Jim and Brent.
Brent Zwarneman, Houston Chronicle. You had told us that John Robinson had once told you, "Hey, slow down." What does this season mean for your future at Texas A&M? And obviously, it's a bright one based on this first year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the biggest thing this year does is, number one, reignites a fan base. I hope it spurs some people to want to speed up the process on renovating our ballpark. We have work to do to get our facility the right way. But I think the greatest thing it does is now you have a group of players that'll be back next year that have been through this. And so instead of listening to Nate Yeske or myself or Nolan Kane, a coach, talk about Omaha and, hey, what's it like and how do you get there and how important is every single game, which therefore how important is every single practice, every single weight workout, because you're trying to stack good days on top of good days so that you earn the right to be here. Instead of hearing that from a coach, now you're going to hear it from players. And so the best way that the younger players on our team can honor the guys that were just up here and the other older players that'll be gone is to work their tails off to get us back here. And then hopefully we play just a little bit better. Got to find some starting pitching that's a little more consistent. Detmer obviously is a good building block for us, and we're super fired up to have him back. But we have a lot of work to do in recruiting. But I think all in all, Aggies are pretty proud today. The beauty is that we're still real disappointed too, because we want to win championships. And I would anticipate, even though I never take these trips for granted, I would anticipate us being back here at some point.
We do too. Thank you, Jim.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Have a good one, man. Take care.
Thanks, man. Take care.
We'll see you next year. On the win,
Thank you.
give us an overview.
Yeah, I thought Sandlin set the tone early, executing one pitch at a time. That's what we talked about. We practiced it actually the other day in the shadowing. Jimmy getting a big hit, separating the game. When you get a separating the game early, your breaking ball gets better, your fastball command gets better, getting a lead early, and then it's just about establishing the strike zone and throwing strike one and going pitch to pitch. And really proud of our club. Hats off to Texas A&M. Had a really good team to navigate through that lineup. Was really hard at times, and just really proud of our baseball team and what we've done.
Okay, let's go to the student athletes. Questions? Mitch.
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. David, how much emphasis was put on getting first pitch strikes against these Aggie hitters that are notorious for taking pitches, and how does that help you set up for success?
I mean, it's just important to anybody you play to get first pitch strike. I mean, that's the goal every time as a pitcher. So just going out there and throwing, that was the goal the whole time.
Okay, right here.
John Hoover, All Sooners. David, a question about your readiness for this moment, career high strikeouts. You came in relief the other day. Did that prepare you in any way against this team to see any of whether it's the environment or the hitters or whatever?
I mean, absolutely. Just got me ready for the atmosphere that I was going to be in, and to mentally prepare almost more for this game and just trust everything I had. I think I tried a little too hard. And as Coach Johnson says, you can't do that. I don't want to get geared up when I don't need to be. So.
Okay, Aaron.
Aaron, 51 Baseball. Jimmy, from your perspective, what did you see out of David today, and maybe that was different from the last time out here a few days ago, and what was the game plan specifically against this A&M offense?
Like Skip and David preached, I mean, just throwing the first strike was a big key with them. I mean, that's with every pitcher. But the difference with him, I mean, he's not used to coming out of the pen, which, I mean, some pitchers aren't. But he turned it around. Today he was just a bulldog on the mound. He just threw first pitch strike, get after it, get ahead, and then just kept rolling.
Okay, over here.
Edward Osovich, Soonerscoop.com. David, just as far as getting out of the top of the fourth, 2 on, no out, come back and strike out the side, how much did that just push you through the rest of the back half of the game?
I mean, it helped for sure. I was just focused on just 1 out at a time. I mean, just 1 pitch at a time, executing spots, whatever Jimmy called. I just wanted to execute it to the best of my ability, no matter if there was runners on, bases loaded, no outs, 2 outs, whatever happened. I just wanted to execute what he called.
Okay.
Jordan McAlpin with the Omaha World Herald. Jimmy, take me back to that first inning. How important was that to get you guys going there?
I mean, it's really important for us to score first. I mean, that's the whole game. I mean, you just got to score more than the other team. But yeah, no, our approach is just to be aggressive and just do our thing. And getting I don't know if Spike got on first. I don't know. But getting base runners on, letting our base running be aggressive is important. And then just hitting in the gaps is what we try to do, and just stick with our approach and see what happens. So.
Matt Tallerini from World Baseball Network. David, how did you feel today? 12 strikeouts, 7 relentless innings pitched. You got ahead of a lot of counts today through their heart of the order. How did you just feel on the mound overall today?
I mean, I felt pretty good. I just trusted my preparation. Like, I've been working towards it all year, and I feel like today was more muscle memory than anything up there on the mound. Just going out there and just executing, don't think about things too much.
Okay, back here.
Josh Calley with All Sooners. Just for both guys, can you guys just walk through the emotions and the feeling when Trevin gets that last out, and you guys know you've punched your ticket to be one of the final 2 teams playing this weekend?
David, you start.
I mean, it still feels kind of surreal. I don't know about for Jimmy. I mean, we'll feel it come Saturday, and we'll be ready for Saturday. So. Yeah,
I mean, Trevin, I mean, he's awesome, man. He knows he's going to have the spotlight on him at the end. But, I mean, any guy at the pen is going to have a role, and they're going to do their thing. But, when Trevin comes out there, we have all the confidence in the world that he's going to just throw strikes and then get us out of that inning and hopefully just finish it. And then going into this championship series or whatever, I think we're just going to stay calm and relax and just play our game.
Okay, here in the back. I can't see.
Lee Benson from KWTV News 9 in Oklahoma City. Jimmy, in the 4th inning, you went out and talked to David And I think the next pitch was a base hit, but then after that, I think David retired 12 of the next 13 guys. So curious, what was that mound visit about?
Just tell him to be relaxed. I mean, I don't really tell David much, not with any other pitchers either anyways. I just told him to relax, do their thing, and just pound the zone. After getting that hit, I knew he was in the zone. I mean, that's what kind of going, and then he just struck out the next 3 batters. So.
Okay, we have a Zoom question. Give us your name and affiliation, please.
Yeah, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Jimmy and David, if you could both just talk about yesterday, you guys made a trip over to Old Rosenblatt. I know it's pretty much gone, but got to see some of the remnants. What did that mean for you guys to make that trip and now to join other Sooner teams that have made the finals? What's sort of the significance of that for you guys?
I mean, as Coach Johnson said to us, it's a part of us. The history and everybody that's played at the University of Oklahoma before us is just as important as the team we have now. They laid the groundwork for us, and we just need to keep going.
Yeah, he hit it right on the nail. So.
Okay, one more Zoom question. Name and affiliation, please.
Hi, Tarek Mosseri, Norman Transcript. This question's for David. Just coming into this game, you got 3 early strikeouts in the first inning, and then you got 1 to end the second. It looked like you were pretty emotional after that punch out. How much did that kind of fuel you for the rest of the game?
I mean, I just, tried to build off of everything that was going on in the game. I like to play with emotions. I know sometimes that's not the best thing to do, but that's who I've been, who I always will be. And it just goes back to the execution, like we've said. I mean, as long as I kept doing that, that's really what fueled me, is to see everything working when Jimmy was calling it. So.
Okay, guys, that looks like it'll be it for you two until Saturday. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
If you have any other needs, Eric will help you out with any other players you might need. Thanks, man. Now, questions for Skip. And we'll start right here with Jordan.
Jordan McAlpin from the Omaha World Herald. Skip, just walk us through from your vantage point, what was working for David out there today?
His fastball command and his slider, and just trying to keep those guys off balance as much as you can. Like he said, getting strike 1 was really huge for him, and then trying to locate a pitch after that. And I thought his changeup was good late. At times, he threw some curveballs off of sliders that were really good as well.
Josh Cowell with All Sooners. Skip, can you just talk about the value that Jimmy brings to this team, both obviously his bat and also just the reliable glove behind the plate, and also kind of massaging the pitchers through games all throughout this run?
Well, I think it's missed from what the catching standpoint. I mean, the leadership that he provides, the comfort when he goes to the mound and either chews their butt out or gets them fired up or makes them execute pitches. I think that leadership from the catching standpoint is what is really needed. We've had guys in the past, I've had guys in the past that were really good at that, and we work really hard on that as a staff to teach that. Coach Overcash works with the catcher and does a great job at teaching that leadership quality, and those guys really, they know that Jimmy cares about them because they know he'll put his body in front of it, he'll play hurt. He's just a baseball player. He's, and he's a prospect too.
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Coach, how crucial is it for you, for David, you and the team, for David to pitch his way out of the 4th after giving up the back-to-back hits?
Yeah, I listened to what whoever said about the 4th inning. I think he was really, really executing pitches in that inning. I mean, you look at all the guys that are really good in pitching, and it's really the only thing you can control is throwing the ball at the target and executing a pitch. You can't control the outcome. You might be able to think you control the outcome, but if you're trying to make those guys swing and miss, they don't swing. And I thought that was, for him to focus like that in the middle of a game in that environment, was a high, elite level of focus and concentration and execution of pitches.
Skip, John Hoover, All Sooners. Can you describe the importance of David's performance today as it relates to how your starting pitching sets up, avoids tomorrow, for instance, And then obviously keeps your bullpen fresh for the rest of the weekend.
I mean, it's huge. I mean, now Bennett can go on a full week's rest. They're used to doing that. Anytime you get them off that, you kind of worry about it a little bit. We actually threw a bullpen for Bennett just in case he had to throw tomorrow, just to stay ahead of the game. And then Horton will have a full game's rest of going into his outing, probably the second game. And then we'll just get a cowboy hat and pull names out of it after that and go from there.
We have a Zoom question, so please give us your name and affiliation again. Ask your question.
Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World. Skip, I wanted to ask you, there was no jubilant celebration after it. It looked like they were still all business after they got the game's final out. How much does that impress you? And do you still see the same signs as you've had from past teams that you've coached that have reached this point?
I mean, I think those kids are focused, and I don't know if it's dogpiling or whatever it is. I mean, it's kind of weird sometimes. I don't tell them not to dogpile, I can tell you that. And I'm real emotional. It might not seem like I am. I'm just thanking Jesus for the moment, really, and all the people that are pulling for a bunch of guys named David. So it's and happened to be David pitching today.
Okay. One more question from Zoom. Please give your name and affiliation.
Hey, Skip, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. I asked the guys about the trip to Rosenblatt. Could you give us a little insight on when you decided you wanted to do that and what that was like to see your guys on, what's essentially baseball hallowed ground?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I have the best baseball operations guy in baseball, Ryan Gaines. He came to me before we went over to practice, and he goes, "Man, I got a good idea." I asked him, "What's that?" And he goes, "Let's go over to Rosenblatt." I'm like, "That's cool. Let's go over there to kind of show those guys where this place has been, what the College World Series is about, where they played it, where the Oklahoma Sooners won the last national championship in 1994 on, and it was really big." And just explain to them when they before they got off the bus to, this is what college baseball is about. I remember it was like an airport, balls leaving that yard, but I got to play in 2009 in Rosenblatt, and it was really special, and didn't get to come back in 2010, but got to open up 2011 here. So it's a great place.
Okay, go ahead in the back here.
There's Lee.
Yeah, Lee Benson from KWTV News 9. In that fourth inning, Coach, I know you talked a little bit about it already, but it looked like David's, maybe his release point, he was kind of high on those curveballs, leaving them upstairs, and Jimmy went and talked to him. And just how impressive is it for him to kind of correct that and come back and strike all those guys out and kind of adjust and pitch the way he did the rest of the way?
Well, you get in that situation, it's really not about mechanics. It's just about your mental side of executing a pitch one pitch at a time. And you don't want to talk about mechanics. It gets away from just executing a pitch. But that's the leadership Jimmy showed to execute the pitch one pitch at a time. I mean, that level of focus, what he did after that, really – him releasing the pitch and getting to the next pitch, it's 100% of what you got to get to the next pitch. In control yourself. And we talk about that a lot. And I don't know if I've seen all year long, an execution of what he did. I mean, it was pretty fun to watch.
Okay, Edward.
Thank you. Finally, Eddie Radosevich, Centerscoop.com. Just as far as how fitting is it that it's a guy named David that goes out and does what he does today, and how special is this group just to you personally?
Yeah, I mean it's really special, man. A guy named David, and that's really what started this deal. It started with a line spike at the beginning of the year, then it's transitioned to David and being just a bunch of Davids, and really proud of those guys. They really have been selfless. I mean, Chaz is biting at the bullet to go down in the bullpen. You could see him getting ready for the whatever inning it was. It was going in the seventh, and we had a list of guys that we were going to use him in that list. And then when it got to the eighth inning, I was going to go with Trevin because the matchups were better for Trevin than it was for Chaz, and he hadn't thrown, and Chaz is one of our better arms. And you got to keep telling those guys, hey, finish, keep looking at it, keep working at it, keep dreaming. Doing all those little bitty things that get those guys out there on the mound.
Okay, time for one more question. If not, we'll have more questions for you on Friday at 11.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you, brother.
I'm enjoying it.
Thank you.